من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداع إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون أحل لكم ليلة الصيام الرفث إلى نسائكم هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن علم الله أنكم كنتم تختانون أنفسكم فتاب عليكم وعفى عنكم فالآن باشروهن وابتغوا ما كتب الله لكم وكلوا واشربوا حتى يتبين لكم الخيط الأبيض من الخيط الأسود من الفجر ثم أتموا الصيام إلى الليل ولا تباشروهن وأنتم عاكفون في المساجد تلك حدود الله فلا تقربوها كذلك يبين الله آياته للناس لعلهم يتقون ولا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل وتدلوا بها إلى الحكام لتأكلوا فريقا من أموال الناس بالإثم وأنتم تعلمون صدق الله العظيم.
ब्रैकेट मिसिंग है इसलिए वो सीधा नहीं हो रहा वन ब्रैकेट मिसिंग
It will do. Move down a bit.
नहीं होगा इतना ही होगा
Push it down a little bit.
कुर्सी पर ले
Yes, yes.
So it's not. Yeah, is it same as this one or different? It's similar. Okay, you check it out. But you have to stand here. Don't go. Because I want to put the Ihram on, so you have to move the camera. Okay, no worries. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأتموا الحج والعمرة لله صدق الله العظيم وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم العمرة إلى العمرة كفارة لما بينهما والحج المبرور ليس له جزاء إلا الجنة وقال عليه السلام عمرة في رمضان تعدل حجة وفي رواية حجة معي وقال عليه السلام تابعوا بين الحج والعمرة فإنهما ينفيان الفقر والذنوب كما تنفي الكير خبث الحديد صدق الله وصدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وقال عليه السلام من زار قبري وجبت له شفاعتي وقال عليه السلام من جاءني زائرا لا يهمه إلا زيارتي كان حقا علي أن أكون له شفيعا يوم القيامة وقال عليه السلام من زارني بعد وفاتي فكأنما زارني في حياتي صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Respected elders, brothers, friends, first of all, Mubarak to all of you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has invited you to His house. You are going there with special invitation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We make dua that Allah takes you there safely, gives you maximum barakat of Haramain Sharifain, and brings you back safely. Umrah means visit, to visit. I'tamara ya'tamiru i'timaran is used for the meaning of visiting. Then it's used for special visit to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with special arkan. And Umrah itself, according to the research of Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi, is wajib once in a lifetime. Hajj is farz once in a lifetime. Umrah is wajib once in a lifetime. According to Imam Abu Hanifa's study, it's Muslim Sunnah. Umrah is not wajib. But there is another opinion of Sahibul Jawhara, Sharif of Quduri, that Umrah is wajib in Hanafi Madhab as well. So if you're going for the first time Umrah, chalo, you're doing wajib or sunnah according to both opinions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy, accept for you. I will just give a little bit of fazilat of Umrah. Allah said, وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجَّ وَالْعُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ. Complete and perfect your Hajj and Umrah for the pleasure of Allah. Lillah. What does Lillah mean? Ikhlas. Sincerity. Just for the sake of Allah. No other motive but the pleasure of Allah. So, do your Umrah with Ikhlas, with sincerity. Number 2, Hadith Sharif mein wo switch laga do, light kar do. When we start that, we'll switch it off. Number 2, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Al-Umratu ila al-Umrati kaffaratun lima baynahuma. One Umrah to another Umrah is kaffara and mafi for any sins committed in between. So you went for Umrah 2 years ago, now you're going for another Umrah. Inshallah, the mistakes and sins committed in between will be forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Umrah is very virtuous. You're spending so much money for the sake of Allah. You're visiting the house of Allah. Allah is really happy with you. He'll forgive you your sins. Number 2, another hadith says, تابعوا بين الحج والعمرة فإنهما ينفيان الفقر والذنوب كما تنفي الكير خبث الحديد. Do Hajj and Umrah in succession because they remove 2 things, sins and poverty, just as fire removes the rust of the metal. So do them in succession, one after the other, and Allah will remove your sins as well, and He will remove your faqr faqa and poverty as well. Allah will give you barakah in your rizq. Number 3, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam went for Hajjatul Wada. When he came back, there was this lady, Sinan al-Ansariya. He asked her, "Oh, Sinan, why didn't you come for Hajj with us?" And she replied, "We had 2 camels. My husband went on one, and the other camel was needed for irrigating the water in the field. So I couldn't go. I had to do this work over here in the field. That's what stopped me." So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Well, when Ramadan comes, go for Umrah in Ramadan, because Umrah in Ramadan is equal to doing Hajj with me. Umratun fi Ramadan ta'dilu hajjatan ma'i." And mashallah, you're going for Umrah in Ramadan. You will get so much sawab as though you are doing Hajj with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, because of the barakah of Ramadan, Roza, Taraweeh, Tilawat, Du'as, Istighfar, this increases the sawab of the journey of the Umrah. And this is why when you're there, you must make lots of du'as for the whole Ummah. Because hadith number 4, Al-Hujjaj wal-Ummar wafdullah in da'ahu wajabahum wa in istaghfaru ghafara lahum. The Hajis and the Umrah performers are all a delegation of Allah. You know, like a delegation of ambassadors go from one country to another country with a special message. Well, these people are going as a delegation of the whole Ummah to the house of Allah to petition Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, if they supplicate to Allah, Allah will accept their supplication. And if they seek forgiveness from Allah, Allah will forgive them. This is your status. Your du'as will be accepted in the house of Allah, in front of Kaaba Sharif, during your tawaf, during your sa'i, during your ibadat. When you go for namaz, you're waiting for namaz. After namaz, you sit there, you make du'as. Your du'as will be accepted in Makkah Sharif, in Medina Sharif, around Rawdah Sharifa, in Masjid Nabawi Sharif. Your du'as will be accepted. So make lots and lots and lots of du'as. How do you make du'a? You start off with yourself. First, ask for yourself forgiveness. And then for your parents, for your family members, for your partners, children, siblings, uncles, aunties, nephews, nieces, close circle, and then your friends and those whom you associate with throughout the day, and then for the Muslim of your locality, and then for the Muslim of the whole world. This is the correct tartib and manner of making du'as. So, while you're there, try to make lots and lots and lots of du'as in this manner. So, this is fazilat of Umrah in itself. And then Umrah is performed in Makkah Sharif. You'll stay in Makkah Sharif for a few days, then you'll go to Medina Sharif. So we mentioned a little bit about visiting Medina Sharif. Fazilat of visiting Medina Sharif. One hadith says, "Man zara qabri wajabat lahu shafa'ati." Rawahu al-Bazzar wa Darqutni. Whoever visits my grave, my shafa'at intercession will become wajib for him. I will speak up for him on the day of Qiyamah in the court of Allah. I will help him and do shafa'at for him. Huge sawab. Huzur's shafa'at we get if we visit his qabr. Number 2, "Man ja'ani za'iran la yuhimmuhu illa ziyarati kana haqqan alayya an akuna lahu shafi'an yawm al-qiyamah." Whosoever comes to visit me, he has no other motive but visiting me, then it will be incumbent upon me to do his sifarish and speak up for him on the day of Qiyamah. Number 3, Tabarani narrates, "Man zarani ba'da wafati faka'annama zarani fi hayati." Ajib, this is amazing hadith. Whosoever visits me after my death is like one who visits me during my lifetime. Imagine, Sahaba used to go visit him. If someone around neighborhood embraced Islam, he would come to visit Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then from time to time, after a few weeks or months, they would come to Medina Sharif and visit him. from maybe Usfan or Taif or here or there, from neighborhood villages and towns. So Huzur said, during my lifetime, people used to come visit me. So whoever comes to visit me after my death is similar to the person who visits me during my life. Why? Because Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam is alive in his qabr. Right? So when we go there, we say Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. He listens to our salam and he responds. He said in one hadith, Man salla alayya inda qabri sami'tuhu. Whosoever reads salat and salam durood to me near my qabr, I hear it myself. Ma min muslimin, ma min ahadin yusallimu alayya inda qabri illa radda Allahu alayya ruhi hatta arudda alayhi salam. When someone greets me at my qabr, Allah returns my ruh to me and I reply to his salam. So it's like visiting him while he was alive. So you go there, you with utmost respect, you say Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, Assalamu alayka ya Habibullah, Assalamu alayka ya Nabiyullah, Assalamu alayka ya Safiyullah, Assalamu alayka ya Khayra Khalqillah, Assalamu alayka ya Awwala Khalqillah wa Khatam Rasulillah, Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alik at-tayyibin at-tahirin. So you offer salam with adab, respect. He listens to you salam, he responds, he feels happy that my ummati is here and he's visiting me. So these are few ahadith. And Sahaba used to visit. Afterwards, Tabi'een used to visit his qabr. Tabi'i Tabi'een. This has been the practice of Salaf Salihin for 1400 years. They've all been going to visit the grave of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Rawdah of Rasul Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, they used to sometimes sing poetry there. Ya khayra man dufinat bil qa'i a'zumuhu فطاب من طيبهن القاع والأكم نفس الفداء لقبر أنت ساكنه فيه العفاف وفيه الجود والكرم. The story is ma'roof, is written in here in Virtues of Hajj by the Shaykh al-Hadith Maulana Muhammad Zakaria Sahab Nafarallahu wa qadruhu. This book is from Halliwell Road bookshop. You can purchase it from there. If you're going for Umrah, take it. It's a must book. Read it before you go. There's so much information in there about Fada'il. There's no Masail in there. Masail is another book. This book is from Masail. And this is only for virtues of Hajj, Fada'il. But you need to learn Fada'il because when you know the virtues of something, you value it. So read it if you can. There's so much in there. Now, we move on to our slides. If there's somebody here who's going to change the slide, you want to do it. Sure, do it. Okay. First of all, these slides were prepared by two of our senior ulama kiram, Maulana Ibrahim Noor Sahab and Maulana Abdullah Sahab from Gloucester, and keeping them in mind, our friend Ahmed Bhula, he merged them and he made his own little bit here. So we are going through them, inshallah. First of all, beginnings, restroom, simply you can see the screen, pen, paper. Everyone should have a copy of Umrah checklist. Question at the end, no problem. Okay, where are we now? Why did we develop this workshop? To help brothers and sisters. Now you can switch the light off if you want. This time, the first one. To help brothers and sisters who are planning going for Umrah, talk about the practical details of Umrah. Lots of information can cause confusion. Therefore, we have created a simple workshop with clear, concise instructions to make it easier for pilgrims. Develop a simple checklist to use throughout the journey. Schedule. Okay. Next slide. Preparation before we go for Umrah. Okay. Prepare our bodies before we go. Make niyyah, intention, take a bath, wear cloth ihram, perform wudu, 2 rakats prayer. This is before putting on ihram. Okay, before we get to that, let me say something else. Before you even get to that ihram stage, you are here in Bolton now, or in your hometown. What do you need to do first? You're going for Umrah, you need to get ready, meet family, friends, ask for maafi tarafi. Okay, forgiveness, pardon. If you have any debts or lend them, pay them off before you go. If you can't pay them off, then the adab is to seek permission of the person whom you owe. That I owe you so much money. If you want, I can pay you, but if you allow me, I'll go and do my umrah. I'll go and do my hajj. Then you travel. That is the correct adab. Then you ask forgiveness from your parents, partners, friends, colleagues, work colleagues, boss, laborers, workers. You make yourself clean, right? And then you start your journey. Then, before you go, right? Let's say you're going on the 30th or 30th of March, or let's say 3rd of April. Then, before you set off, you need to wash your whole body, take ghusl, shave your armpits, excess hair, trim your nails. Available, ladies. Ada pasal di hadirin tak kursi. Okay, you clean yourself properly, and then you make intention that now, Alhamdulillah, we are ready. You pack your bags, whatever you need to take with you, right? What you need during the traveling, you have to keep in your hand luggage. What you don't, you put that in your suitcase. If you have any medications, diabetic, insulin injection, whatever, right? Have a doctor letter with you, because they might ask you at the airport, what is this? And you have to show that this is doctor, and I might require it during the flight, so I have to keep it with me, otherwise they won't let you have any needles or anything sharp objects with you. So you have to keep a letter with you. Any other medications, you can be under kursi ko pasal. Atau pasal tu rumah dia pasal. हमरो दारुल हदीस में माइक भी चालू है, लाइट ऑन कर दियो जी. So these are something which you need to understand. I think if you move on to the next slides, there is in there तवाफ बाद में करेंगे. Hand luggage and आगे recommended to carry small light hand luggage, packing only the essential items, so it is easier for you to travel. The less weight you have on your person, the easier it will be. Your personal documents, passports, plane tickets should be kept on person at all times whilst traveling in a small personal bag, handbag, so that they are easily accessible. Your money can be kept in the money belt pouch if it is the type that goes around your waist. Then the lower part of the ihram can be folded over it for extra peace of mind. I'll show you how to wear that, inshallah. And then we have these essential items you need to keep in your hand luggage. Okay, you have the ihram, and you have the belt, and you have the slippers. You have a small bag for money, first aid, plasters, ibuprofen. You open that next slide. Paracetamol, diuretics, chest rehydration, Imodium, diarrhea, lozenges for sore throats, cough medicine, foot creams or blister plasters, antihistamines, any other prescription medication you might need, inhalers, glucose tablets. This is what you can keep as first aid with you. You can keep that with you or in the suitcase, whatever is easier for you. Last minute checks. Okay. Money in wallet or money in belt. Passport, check vaccination requirements. Okay. Vaccination requirements, as I said after namaz, that they've got rid of that rule. You don't need vaccination certificates anymore. There was a particular app called Muqim app. There's two apps, Muqim app and I'tamarna app. So Muqim app, they don't ask for it anymore. Though my friend Malana Rashid Saab from USA, sent me WhatsApp message. I told him, can you tell me the latest requirements that he's there in Umrah at the moment. He's in Makkah Sharif. And he said, I came in December and it was really hard. But now, alhamdulillah, they've made it a lot easy. Just 2 months down the line. He said, you don't need Muqima. At that time, we must have Muqima. And when you download that and you apply for visa, they will ask you vaccination, PCR. No need for PCR now. No need for vaccination now. And all they asked for at the airport was visa and passport. So make sure you have your visa and your passport. Maybe they might ask for insurance as well. But when you get visa, they ask you that insurance, it all covers it. Before, they didn't ask for insurance, right? They used to do khidmat of hujjaj and mu'tamiri. If any medication, anything, you go hospital, they will give you free. But now they require you to take out some insurance and then go with that. So it will be included when you get the visa out. Your agent should do it for you. Also, another app was Tawakkalna. They got rid of the Tawakkalna app as well. The only app you have to download now is I'tamarna. And how do you download that app, I'tamarna? When you land at Jeddah airport and you go through the immigration, then when you get outside, there'll be people selling you SIM cards. So there will be STC SIM card, mobile SIM card, there might be others as well. My friend Yusuf Bhai said, I bought STC SIM card and STC and it's got 20 GB, so it's going to last me throughout my journey. And STC is the first network of Saudi Telecom, and it's got the best coverage. Mobile is very tricky, touch and go. It's cheaper than STC, but its reception is not so good. Normally when we go for Hajj, we used to buy mobile images, give a lot of trouble. So we started taking STC after that. So if you can take STC SIM card, 20 GB perhaps, then it'll be sufficient for you. And then you book your Umrah on I'tamarna. And also when you go to Medina, you want to go to Rawdah for Salam, you have to book on I'tamarna. And it would be easier for you if you have some young man with you who is tech savvy, who's always on the mobile. Because I myself, I can't do these things. Someone else may do kalani. So if you're an elderly person, take someone with you, some young man who can do that for you. Maulana Sahab, अच्छा इसमें आ गया है, कहाँ गया? Required apps. Tawakkalna. Immunization status required to enter shops, must register within 8 hours of arrival in Saudi Arabia. But as I mentioned, this is gone now. They don't require it anymore. Just recently, the rule has come. I'tamarna required for booking Umrah and entry into Rawdah, just that I mentioned. My friend Maulana Rashid Saab just told me that yes, I'tamarna is still required for booking Umrah and for going into Rawdah in Medina Sharif. But for namaz, you don't need to book I'tamarna. Okay? Now, remember, if you're going there and you want to go for Tawaf or Umrah, you have to have your Ihram, right? And they will only let you go in Mataf if you have Ihram. If you don't have Ihram, there's another door to go on the first floor. Okay? Now, where is the entrance for Mataf? Most of you will know gate number 1, Babi Abdul Aziz, right? The King Abdul Aziz gate is in Ajiyat, where the wheelchairs go, and then down is Babi Abdul Aziz. Let's say you come out from Zamzam Tower, right? When you come out of Zamzam Tower, on your left is King Fahad gate, but on your right is King Abdul Aziz gate, right? So you come out of Zamzam Tower, don't go left towards King Fahad gate, go on your right towards King Abdul Aziz gate. And that King Abdul Aziz gate will lead you right into Haram Sharif. But if you go towards left, then you just go be around like headless chicken, and be tired you will get to the Mataf. So make sure you plan and go with Ihram. Okay, they will ask you for your app. Now you have to have a smartphone because the Nokia, you won't go download anything on there. So you have to have your smartphone. And Yusuf Bhai said, I took one phone for me, one for my wife, so we book separately. Now, if you're in a group, then the group leader may be able to do that for you. Or the hotel where you're living in, they might be able to book for you. And you can show that when you go to the entry, they will ask for you. Now, what happens is when there's a lot of rush at namaz time, they don't normally check. If you just go Ihram on, they see these ones go Ihram on, chalo. And this is the trick to going Mataf, right? Even if you don't want to do Umrah, just keep your Ihram on. Just make niyyat of Sunnat libas. Because Prophet ﷺ used to wear sunnah libas most of the time. He used to wear chadar at the bottom and chadar on the top. That was his sunnah libas. He wore qameez as well. The sunnah qameez is sunnah as well. But most of the time he used to wear just shawls, upper shawl and lower shawl garment. Upper shawl is called rida, and the lower one is called izar. So izar and rida. Keep your ihram on. Our mufti sahab, he always stays in ihram. And his wife downloads for him, and he shows that go in Makkah and just sits in Makkah for hours and hours, and he does tawaf, as many tawafs as he can. One of my friends went and he said, Maulana Sahab, Alhamdulillah, within just a few days I did 50 tawaf. You go in Haram Sharif. Because in Haram Sharif, my friend Maulana Rashid Sahab or Maulana Hassan Khara said, okay, tawaf only took me 15 minutes, 7 rounds, just 15 minutes, Alhamdulillah. So they made it a bit easier now. They have let you go close to the Maqaf, close to Kaaba Sharif, but still they have not opened Hajar Aswad. They haven't opened Hatim. So you can't give Bosa, kiss Hajar Aswad. You only have to do Istinam. And you can't go inside Hatim to pray namaz. Make dua, Allah opens that as well. Especially while you're there. That Allah open Hajar Aswad so we can kiss it as well. Open Hatim so we can go in there and pray namaz as well. They still haven't allowed bringing Zamzam back. They won't let you bring Zamzam back. Make dua, that Allah opens the way for Zamzam as well. And they allow you to bring it. Some people were bringing it inside their luggage, but they saw it in the scan and they told them to take it off, take it out. So maybe if you get through, you get through, but if you just see it, they might make you get it out. It's up to you. But some people did bring in small bottles, hiding it in their clothes and bring it, but what else can we do? So anyway, this is about going inside Maqaf, right? You go from the Babi Abdul Aziz gate, don't go keep running around here and there. Otherwise they'll send you to another gate, you'll be tired. Go into Maqaf, do your Umrah over there. Also, it says here you can download I'tamarna from here and register beforehand. Okay, I didn't know that. And you can go on your mobile here as well and register beforehand. Beforehand, you know, Yusuf Bhai, he requested for Umrah on the 1st or 2nd of Ramadan, but they didn't allow him, so he had to go a day before in Sha'ban, end of Sha'ban. If you can do Umrah in Ramadan, it's better. If you're leaving from here, maybe 29th Sha'ban, 30th Sha'ban, you're going to be there on the 1st or 2nd of Ramadan, it's better to do your Umrah in Ramadan, more rewarding. Because you remember the hadith where I said, Umrah fi Ramadan ta'adilu hajjatan ma'i. Umrah of Ramadan is equal to Hajj with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So try and do your Umrah in Ramadan. And if, for example, for instance, you know, let's say you did Umrah in Sha'ban, then what you can do is do Umrah from Masjid Aisha in Ramadan, right? Book your Umrah on I'tamarna, and then go to Masjid Aisha, put your Ihram on from there, and then come back, and then do your Umrah from Masjid Aisha. Inshallah, you will get Tawaf for that Umrah of Ramadan as well. So this is a little bit about acts of Tawakkalna, I'tamarna. You want to go to the next one? Okay. How to register? Departing. Okay. Departing from home. Before leaving home, we just covered this. From ghusl, clip nails, trim mustache, remove pubic hair under armpits. This is very important because if you don't move hair under armpits and you go your ihram on and you put your hand like this in the airplane to take the hand luggage out, everybody's going to see this. Right? So you better make sure you shave it before you go. Right? Otherwise, you'll be feeling really shy to put your hand up. Read 2 rakat nafil namaz for ease of journey if it's not makruh time for salah. When is makruh to perform salah? After Fajr and after Asr. It's makruh to pray nafil after Fajr and after Asr. So if it's not after Fajr, not after Asr, other time, then 2 rakat namaz before you leave home. Okay? Before you go in the car to the airport, make wuzu, pray 2 rakat namaz, and make dua that Allah makes your journey easy for you. After salah, do dua, send durood upon Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity to go for Umrah, ask Allah for ease of journey, repent from all sins, and ask for protection from the self-desire, nafs and shaitan. Before leaving home, meet family and friends and live in a happy state, remain in dhikr during the journey and stop for salah on the way if you require. Do not miss any salah. Plan the journey ahead, taking into account possible traffic. Check and recheck bags, possessions to ensure you have packed everything you need. Don't leave your passport home, otherwise you'll be in trouble. Airport checking your passport to bhul gaye idhar. So make sure you, before you get in the car, you check all your passport, visa, all necessary papers. Note, all of the pilgrims, once they leave their home city, will now be classed as travelers. So only Qasr, Salah, 2 rakat, Fajr, or Zuhr, Asr, and Isha will be read. Okay, Fajr is 2 anyway, Maghrib is 3 anyway, no Qasr in there. But Zuhr, Asr, Isha, it will be shortened to 2 rakats as soon as you leave your home, meaning hometown. You leave Bolton, right? You get to Manchester Airport, now you're outside Bolton. So though Manchester Airport is only 15 miles from Bolton, but if you pray your Zohar or Asr or Isha in Manchester Airport, you pray 2 rakats, right? You don't have to travel 48 miles to pray 2. As soon as your intention is to go above 48 and you leave your Bolton area, then you have to pray 2 rakats, right? So at Manchester Airport, you'll pray 2 rakats only if you're praying over there. Now, some people ask here, mas'ala of combining, right? Zohar and Asr, Maghrib and Isha, Jama baina salatain. Can we do that? Try not to do it. Try your best to pray each namaz on its time. Inna salata kanat ala al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta. Every time is fixed for salah. Go according to that. But if there is possibility of some namaz coming during the flight and you feel that you might not be able to pray because the time is really short, right? Then maybe, let's say, your flight is at 2 o'clock with Emirates, right, from Manchester, and time starts at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, right? And you can pray your namaz before you board the plane. So make wuzu, be ready. As soon as time starts, you pray your Zohar. But before you pray your Zohar, you must make intention that I'm going to combine, right? And you have to become Shafi for the 2 namaz, okay? Because you're practicing on the Shafi opinion in this regard. So you have to do whatever Imam Shafi says, right? Now, if you're a Muqtadi, right, then Surah Fatiha will be wajib on you. And do Rafi'atain as well, like Imam Shafi says, right? And if you touch your wife, your wuzu will break, go to wuzu again. If you touch your private part, you scratch yourself, the wuzu will break, because Imam Shafi says if you touch your private part, your wuzu breaks. So you will have to abide by the whole Shafi mazhab, okay? And then you can pray 2 rakat Zohar, 2 rakat Asr, and board the plane, okay? This is only if it's a flight journey. Remember that, not road journey. Don't combine salah if you're traveling from here to London, because you can pray at Hilton Park. There's prayer facilities there. Pray your Zohar here, pray your Asr at Hilton Park. Pray them both on their times. Never combine on road journey. This is due to dire necessity, because these days praying namaz on aeroplane is really struggle. They don't let you. They go back on the seat. Even if they are Muslims, Emirates or Qatar or whatever, they become bigger mufti than the non-Muslims. The non-Muslims will allow you, but Muslims will say, no, so you pray on the seat. Now, if that was to happen, let's say you were to pray on the seat, you did wudu and you pray your namaz on the seat, then that will be done. But you have to repeat it when you get to your destination. Why repeat it? Because you missed qiyam, ruku, sujood, you prayed with isha. Right? Because of the naqs and reduction in the salah, it's good that you did on time, but then when you get to your place, repeat that namaz. Right? Sometimes we have to do that, especially when it's Fajr time. We're in the flight, and Fajr time, 2 hours, you're in the flight. You can't pray that, on the ground. So what do? You make wudu, you pray Fajr on your seat, and when you get to your destination, you repeat that Fajr namaz. Okay? This is the masala. This is about namaz. Okay. What's the next slide? Okay. This is something prohibitions in Ihram. what you can't do. Once you start Ihram, you can't do these things. Number one, clipping nails. Number two, trimming or plucking the hair. Number three, applying perfumes or scents. Number four, flirting and intercourse. Number five, covering the face for women. Number six, stitch clothing for men. Number seven, covering the head for men. Number eight, hunting. Okay. Now this stitch clothing is when the clothing is stitched according to the shape of the body, like sleeves and paita, right? But if a person has two pieces of cloth which are small and used to make it large, he can stitch them both and then make a shawl out of it. Okay. And also, if a person wants to stitch the lungi, right, it's better not to stitch it, but if he wants to stitch it, it would be allowed. One stitch from top to bottom so that it doesn't open up, it'll be allowed. I'll show you. I've got both lungis over here. You can do that as well. So this stitching means stitching according to the shape of the body is not allowed. You understand? And applying perfumes or scent includes using soaps and shampoos. When you're in Ihram, you have to be careful. You've entered Ihram in the plane, you go to the toilet, and there's a really nice soap there or scent, and you want to use that scent or shampoo or something, and you wash your hands with it, then that's not shampoo, that's a dam. You have to give one dam, one bakra, goat. Right? So be careful. Don't use soap, shampoo, or scent or anything. Okay, this is what's not allowed. You got all the list there: clipping nails, trimming hair, applying perfumes, flirting and intercourse, covering the face for women, stitch clothing, covering the head for men, and hunting. Okay, we now move on to which one is this? Umrah summary. Bath before Ihram is Sunnah. Ihram itself is Farz. 2 rakat nafil, intention wajib, talbiyah wajib. Okay. What about Tawaf Sa'i? Masab, next slide. Umrah. There are 2 Farz, compulsory actions in Umrah as follows. Number 1, to enter into the state of Ihram. Number 2, to complete at least 4 rounds of Tawaf. This means that Tawaf is how many rounds? 7, right? But let's say, for example, for some reason a person performed 4 rounds, and then he fainted, or he fell, or he was sick, or anything. Then because he's done the majority of the rounds, right, his farz will be classed as done. So he's got 3 rounds left, so completing the 3 will be wajib. If he was not able to do the wajib, then he can get away with the dam. Okay? But if he did only 2 or 3 and he's got 4 left, then he can't get away with dam. He has to go with that first. So full 7 rounds must be done, but if for some reason a person only performed 4 and then he was unconscious or sick or hospitalized or something like that, then his farz will be done. He will be allowed to go out of Ihram after that, but he will have to give dam for the 3 rounds he missed. This is the meaning of 4 rounds being farz. So how many farz in Umrah? 2. Number 1, to don the Ihram, right? The 2 sheets of Ihram, and number 2, to do a Tawaf. And then wajib. There are 3 wajib actions in Umrah as follows. Number 1, to complete all 7 rounds of Tawaf. You get it? The rest of the 3 completing them are wajib. Number 2, to perform sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Right? You know Safa, Marwa? You have to perform sa'i, which is wajib. Okay? And number 3, to perform halaq or qasr, shaving or trimming the hair. That's also wajib. If you leave any of the wajib, then what can you get away with? Dam 1 goat, 1 bakra. But if you leave a farz, then your umrah is not counted. You have to go and repeat the umrah. From the above, the only action which a female cannot perform is, if she is on her menstruation cycle, is the tawaf, right? Because where is tawaf done? Inside the masjid. And a woman on hayd cannot go in the masjid. That's why she can't do tawaf of the house of Allah, right? Why is this explained? She can't do sa'i, right? Let's say a woman did her tawaf, right? And as soon as she finished her tawaf, her period started, right? But she only needs to do her sa'i, right? So she will be allowed to get out of the masjid and go from outside to Safa Marwa. Now remember the point. Safa Marwa is not in masjid, it's outside masjid. Though masjid is extended, right? But still, Safa Marwa at that time, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, was outside Masjid. Masjid Haram was small. They had to walk it, then they would get to Safa Marwa. So Safa Marwa has always been outside Masjid, and the Sa'i is outside Masjid. So a woman who's on Hayz can go to Safa Marwa and do her Sa'i between Safa Marwa, even in her Sa'i. The only action she can do is go inside the Masjid to do Tawaf of the Umrah. Furthermore, Sa'i cannot be performed without performing the Tawaf first. This should be kept in mind. Sa'i cannot be performed without Tawaf, right? So you have to do Tawaf first and then go for Sa'i, right? I'll explain that later. Chalo, move on to the next one. Entering into the state of Ihram. Ihram, man, 2 pieces of plain unstitched white cloth. The head or face must not be covered with any clothing. Do not wear socks, shirts, turbans, trousers, underwear. Underwear is necessary. One young man was with us, he kept on wearing his underwear in Ihram. And when Hajj and everything finished, he must have had underwear. Dam do, you have to give dam because you wear stitched clothes. I didn't know that when you should have asked, right? So you can't wear any underwear. Now sometimes some people get, have a habit of wearing underwear. So when they're walking and the legs, the thighs rub, they have dry skin, itching, right? So you can apply some cream which does not have any perfume in it, right? Some Vaseline without perfume. So before you go to Haram Sharif or in Ihram, you use that cream, just apply a little bit so you don't get sweaty and you don't start itching and the skin doesn't fall off. Okay, so this is the thing to wear. Women, any Islamic dress is suitable. The face must be covered, the hands must be covered as well. Okay, sorry, first must not be covered. Usko bhi samjhayenge. Face must not be covered. Things permissible in Ihram: shadowing on an umbrella or any such object that protects you from the sun, such as a car roof, is allowed as long as it does not touch your head. Umbrella is allowed, so you can use umbrella. Nothing can touch your head. Okay, something is above, you're okay to do that. You can wear rings, glasses, hearing aids, watches, belts, girdles, and money pouches. Okay, then bomb bags. You're gonna have bomb bag in market. Probably use kartena. It's good. I brought one here. I use this normally, so it's easy. You just wear it around your waist, right? It'll hold on to your ihram as well. And you can put your passport and money and mobile phone and everything, chashma in here as well. It's very easy. Whatever else you need, pen, tissue paper. Okay. You can change your ihram while in the state of ihram. Let's say your ihram got dirty. You spilled some tea on it or some oil. It's dirty. So you can take that off, put another one on. Some people think that no, you can't change it. And they keep doing ihram on Hajj in that dirty ihram. That's not right. You can change that ihram if need be. There's no harm in there. Similarly, if your ihram becomes napak, you're in the state of ihram, you fell asleep, you had a bad dream, and your ihram is napak, change your ihram. Put another one on. Wash this one. Okay. You can shower or bathe, but don't scrub the body. Let the water run over you. Okay. And don't use soap shampoo, right? Because you're in the state of ihram. You can use a miswak, but not toothbrush, toothpaste, because toothbrush, toothpaste has fragrance in it. Okay, so no toothpaste in ihram, only miswak. If miswak has a little bit of fragrance, then that's allowed, because the miswak fragrance is something which is natural. It's not something added, right? Some miswaks, have that neem khushbu in there. That's okay. You can cover yourself in blankets, sleeping bag, etc., but don't put it over your head. So if you go inside the sleeping bag, that's allowed, even though your feet are covered, but don't cover your head with anything. Okay, once in Hajj, it was in December, and we were in Muzdalifah, and it was really cold, and our heads are open. So what we did was we need to get crisp box and cut it and make it square round and put our heads inside. Okay? And it would be really nice because the wind would not strike our head. But this is safety, that's allowed. Prohibited actions for ihram: hunting. Nobody's going to do that, but just in case. Wearing perfume or using anything which has fragrance like toothpaste, soap, shower gel, shampoo, on body clothes, food, drink. For men to wear sewn or stitched clothes, makeup, surma, henna, all forms of beautification in ihram is not allowed. Lying, abusing, swearing, all unlawful actions. Shaving, cutting, trimming any hair or nails from body. for men to cover the central bone of the upper part of the foot. Okay, central bone of the upper part of the foot, on the top of the bone. You know, you can wear flip-flops, but this part should be open. Okay, this is according to Hanafiya. Shafi'iyya say the heel, heel, the heel, and the heel should be open. So if you keep both open, that's better. In flip-flops, they both will be open. This top part as well, and this part as well. For men or women to cover their faces, women can cover their faces in a manner where the cloth does not touch the face. Okay? Hazrat Maulana Rashid Ahmad Gangohi Rahmatullah said there are two wajibs in Ihram. One is that no cloth touches the face, right? And the other is that you cover your beauty from men, non-mahram men. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha said that, when we went for Hajj, we were traveling, and if men were to pass by, we just turn our heads on the other side until they passed. And then we would, start walking normally or traveling normally. So you have to cover yourself from non-mahrams. So maybe if you're sitting on the coach, right, the ladies sit at the back and gents at the front. And the ladies at the back are relaxed, they can keep their face open. And the Hajis, the group leader, he must be careful in going towards the back. So the hijab and niqab girls, ladies, don't have to keep covering themselves. So you have to keep your face, protected from non-mahrams, but you shouldn't let anything touch your face either. This is the mas'ala. For men, cover their heads with even with a blanket is prohibited. You can't cover your head with a topi or a turban or a blanket or a chadar or a shawl or anything. Having relations with husband, wife, or an act which could lead up to it. Okay. Next one slide. Miqat. Shall I show you how to put ihram on first, or shall I show you at the end? Or shall I show you now or at the end? At the end. Okay then. Because there's so many slides left. So namaz late padna padega. I think preparation for it will do stuff. Oh, there's only this many slides left. That's okay. Inshallah, we should be able to cover it. There was some more masail to cover here as well. Okay, Miqat. Where to put ihram on? Boundaries. One must enter into the state of ihram before passing the Miqat boundary. Miqat is the outer boundary from where those wishing to perform Hajj or Umrah must enter into the state of ihram. One who intends to travel directly to Makkah via Jeddah must enter into ihram before reaching Jeddah. Those traveling directly to Medina will not enter ihram. Okay, what is this? Every country has its borders, right? If you want to enter that, you have to have visa, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the king of all kings, right? He's kept some boundaries for those who intend to visit his house. And those boundaries are called Miqat, okay? And Allah said, before you get to that boundary, you should be in the state of, number one, ihram clothes. Why? Get rid of all your pomp and glory and luxury. You might be a millionaire at home, you might have a flashy Lamborghini or, Mercedes or BMW or Porsche car, whatever you might be wearing designer wear clothes, right? I don't put all that here. You come here, you have to wear two simple white sheets. Everybody should be in the same libas. And number two, you might be well spoken, eloquent at home, but when you come here, you only say one prayer, one dua, and that is Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. But everybody must be saying Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Men loudly and women silently with faint voice. This is why Allah has prescribed the Miqat. Okay, it's a sign of respect for the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are going to the house of Allah. Allah, He is the king of all kings. He is Rabbul Alameen, Ahkamul Hakimeen, Shahin Mutlaq. So when you go to his house, we have to show some adab, manner, etiquettes. Okay, and remove all this. Also, Allah is Allah. We have to have muhabbat and love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to get rid of all this is a sign of the love of Allah. Allah, I love you so much, I'm ready to give up everything for you. Right? Like Layla Majnun. Majnun gave up everything for the sake of Layla. So Allah, His status is much, much higher than Layla. So we have to give up everything for the sake of Allah, show Him our true devotion, our true love and muhabbat. That is why we have to put on our ihram before we get to Miqat. Where to put ihram on? Those traveling from Medina to Makkah will enter the ihram at Dhul Hulayfa bin Ali. There is also masjid in Dhul Hulayfa where pilgrims make their intention from and pray 2 rakats. Those within Makkah wishing to perform additional umrah will re-enter ihram from beyond the haram, usually Masjid Aisha Tan'im, or from Ziyara, which is also sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Okay? If you travel, normally we travel from Medina Sharif. Either we go from here, from Manchester or Heathrow, direct to Jeddah to Makkah, or to Jeddah and then Medina and then Makkah. Right? This is the only two for us. So what we do, if we're going to Makkah Mukarramah, right, then before we land at Jeddah, we have to be in the state of Ihram. Okay, if you are in the Saudi flight, then 1 hour before landing, they will announce that we are now about to enter the boundaries of Miqat, so please enter your ihram. And you have to, those who are not in ihram will have to enter their ihram before that boundary, before you land in Jeddah. Okay, but if you're going in Medina Sharif, then you're not going, so you don't need to go in ihram. You go direct from Jeddah, you take a bus, go to Medina Sharif, and stay there for a few days, and then come to Makkah. So you start ihram from Dhul Hulayfa. It's about 3 miles from the city of Medina. Your driver will take you there. There's a masjid there, and you have to, go to wudu, pray 2 rakat namaz, make dua, start your ihram, and then you start your journey. My friend Maulana Hassan Kara went by train. So he said a train station from my hotel was about 15-20 minutes. He took a taxi to the train station, and the train cost about 175 riyals. Depends on the timings. So we had to put ihram on from hotel and then go to the train station. And as the train starts from the Medina Sharif train station, after 15 minutes they announce that we are now passing by Dhul Hulayfa, Vili Ali. So make your intention. So the train keeps moving, and we just make our intention, say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and then the train takes us to Makkah Mukarramah straight away. It takes about 2 hours plus a few minutes, 2 hours, 10-15 minutes to get to Makkah Mukarramah, very fast. But the problem is luggage. If you have too much luggage, they don't let you board the train. So with too much luggage, it's better to take a taxi. If you have babies and everybody with you, just take a taxi, it's much easier. So you have to start ihram from Dhul Hulayfa. That is where our Prophet ﷺ started his ihram from. When he went for Hajj, he went to Dhul Hulayfa and he stayed there for the night. And in the morning, he had ghusl, shower, and then he started his ihram, put his ihram on, prayed 2 rakat namaz, made dua, and then said his labbaik. Then he rode on his ride, said labbaik again, and then he moved forward with the caravan and he started saying labbaik again loudly. So that is the place from where you have to start your ihram if you're traveling from Medina Sharif. Normally, we go to Makkah. Some ulama discuss what is better, to go Medina first or Makkah first. Right? During the COVID period, people used to go Medina Sharif first. Because you used to go there, stay there a few days, download the Tawakkalna and I'tamarna apps, book their Umrah, and then go to Makkah. That was easier. Because if you would go straight to Jeddah and then from there to Makkah, then sometimes you would not get booking on I'tamarna. And you would have to stay in Ihram for 2-3 days before you get your chance to go in Haram. It was very restricted then. So at that time, people used to go to Medina first and then go to Makkah. But now the restrictions have been lifted. So you can go to Makkah first. And many mashayikh preferred going to Makkah first. Because when you go to Makkah, you do your Umrah, you wash away your sins, you become clean and pak, and then you go to Medina Sharif, you present yourself at the Rawdah of the Prophet ﷺ whilst you're clean and pak from the sins and you've done your tawbah and istighfar is better. That is why they used to do Umrah first and then they used to go to Medina Sharif. That was the normal habit and cycle of our mashayikh. So if you can do that, it's better. But if you wanted to go Medina Sharif, no problem, that is also allowed and possible. Next slide. Medina Sharif, okay, you see the round circle, Zul Hulayfa is at the top, Zati Irq is down, Qarnul Manazil down there, Yalamlam is over there, and Al Juhfa is over there. Yalamlam is Yemen side. So anyone coming from south, from Yemen, have to start from Yalamlam. Anyone coming from Jeddah side, they might have to start from Zati Irq. And others from Qarnul Manazil. And coming from Sham, they have to start from Juhfa. And from Medina, they have to start from Zul Hulayfa. Anyway, entering Makkah Sharif. Book Umrah through Atamanna. Get to Masjid Haram at the required time. Okay, you booked your Umrah, let's say 2 o'clock, afternoon, 2 p.m. Right? They give you 2 hours, flexibility. You have to go within the 2 hours. If that's delayed, your booking is gone. You have to rebook. Okay? Maulana Hassan told me that he booked one Umrah in the morning, 9 o'clock. He went and he did Umrah. After he finished Umrah, he came back. He booked another Umrah at night, 12 o'clock. And he got that slot as well because it was empty. So he did another Umrah. Went to Masjid Aisha, put Ihram on, did another Umrah. So there are ways to do it. Look for the time when there is less public there. Don't go at, when there are lots of public. Like after Fajr, after Asr, after Maghrib, lots of public, right? But in the night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, very few people. In the morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, very few people. Same with Rawza Sharifa. If you go in Medina to do Salam at Rawza Sharifa, if you go at 9:30 in the morning or between 8:30 and 10:30, there's less people, it's calm. You can go in Rawza quickly, pray namaz, do Salam and out. Okay. Similarly, in the evening, from midnight till Tahajjud time, Rawza Sharif is calm. So you can go and pray your namaz in Rawza and do Salam there. In Medina Sharif, they are a bit stricter than Makkah. Makkah is flexible. Makkah are a lot flexible because there's lots of people, so they are flexible. They say no problem, let people through. But in Medina Sharif, they are a bit stricter. Children, if you're taking small children with you, if they are under 6, they might give you a hard time in Medina Sharif. But in Makkah Sharif, again, they are a bit flexible. It all depends on the police. It's on his mood, right? If his mood is good, he'll let you in. Maulana Rashid told me that this morning I saw in Jummah, I saw in Tawaf this lady with a baby in the stroller. I don't know how she sneaked in, but the police must have let her in. But sometimes they do let you in. But the rule is that under 6 will not be allowed. And in Medina Sharif, they said that there's a huge fencing around the Sahel. So they don't let you enter the Sahel, the courtyard, let alone masjid. They won't let you enter the courtyard. He said, I was going in and there was this lady, Bichari, and she had a young child. The police didn't let her in. She cried, please, please, I have to go. Where can I leave him? But they didn't let her in for, in the Sahel. So they might be a bit stricter in Medina Sharif, but in Makkah Sharif, they're relatively soft and calm. Get to Masjid Haram at required time. Presently, you can only enter Tawaf in Haram, in Ihram. Haram wrong here, in Ihram. Only enter Tawaf in Ihram. Where mosque is still necessary. It's not necessary now. Mosque is gone. Okay, in open areas like Haram Sharif, you don't need to wear mask. There is no distancing either. You can stand together in namaz. But in hotels, in closed areas, they might require you to wear a mask. Like if you go to a shopping mall, someone might be there and say, wear your mask. Sometimes they might ask you for your proof as well. So if you have your mobile with you when you go shopping or somewhere, it's better, easier for you. And if they tell you to wear mask, then you have to wear mask in closed areas. Entering Makkah, the city of Makkah should be entered very humbly, with a heart full of consciousness of the power of Almighty Allah. Remember, this is a unique journey to connect with the Creator. One should be engaged in reciting Talbiyah all the while. Proceed to the Kaaba Sharif as a servant with the most humility while reciting Talbiyah. A woman in the state of Hayd Nifas cannot enter the masjid. So she will stay at her home in the hotel until she gets parked, and then she does her ghusl, and then she goes to do her tawaf. But she has to remember, when she gets parked and she does ghusl, don't use soap shampoo. Just pour water over your body, clean yourself, and then go to the Haram Sharif and do your tawaf, whatever you need to do. And humility, humbleness. When you enter Haram Sharif, there are certain du'as to read. If you can have those books and read those du'as, it's better for you. And also reading Labbaik, right? لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. You should recite لبيك with love, muhabbat. You know, that fervor, that vigorous should be there. You should be intensely in love with Allah and understand the meaning of labbaik. What is labbaik? What does labbaik mean? Labbaik means I am here, Lord. I am present. मैं हाजिर हूँ या अल्लाह. मैं आ गया. आपने बुलाया, you invited me. I am at your service, O Allah. This is the meaning of labbaik. Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. Repeat it. I am present, O Allah. O Allah, I am present. Labbaik, la sharika laka labbaik. I am here, Ya Allah. And I admit and I declare that you have no shareek, no partner. You are alone. You are unique. You are special. La sharika lak. Labbaik. And I am here, O Allah. Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. Indeed, all hamd and praise and all ni'mat and favors belong to you. I am here because it's your favor upon me, you invited me. I praise you, Allah. I thank you for inviting me. Innal hamda wal ni'mata laka wal mulk. All kingdom, domain, badshahat, control, rule, governing belongs to you. You are the sovereign. You are the king of all kings. So mulk and badshahat and kingdom is yours. And again I declare, la sharika lak, you have no partners. This is the meaning of labbaik. Okay? And what is labbaik? Why do we say labbaik? Because when Ibrahim alayhi salam constructed Kaaba Sharif, Allah told him to stand on the rock and announce, people, your Rabb has made a house for you, so come here and visit the house of Allah. So Ibrahim alayhi salam said, where will my voice reach, Ya Allah? And Allah said, your duty is to announce, it's my duty to let the voice reach wherever it needs to be delivered. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took that announcement of Ibrahim alayhi salam to those who were alive at that time and to the alami arwah, the world of souls. And they heard it. And whoever said labbaik in alami arwah, when they come over here, they go to the house of Allah and they say that labbaik and they visit the house of Allah. So the amount of time you said labbaik in alam arwah is the amount of time you will visit the house of Allah, either for Umrah or for Hajj. This is the reality and haqiqat of labbaik. So keep that in mind. Allah invited me through Ibrahim alayhi salam, and I am responding to the call of Ibrahim alayhi salam as Allah instructed him to do so. Allah, I am here. I need your help. I need your blessings. I need your favors. Allah, please bless me and accept my haziri. This is the meaning of labbaik. Allahumma labbaik. So when you are going, read labbaik as much as you can. And proceed to Kaaba Sharif with utmost humility. A woman is read this. Okay, I think I'll have to wear the ihram first, and then we'll move forward. Or shall we pray namaz and continue after namaz? What do you like? Namaz is 10 past 8. 3 minutes left. Huh? Late ho jayega bhai. Finish kar do? Finish kar do? Maybe 8:30 ho jayegi namaz. Chalo. So I'll just show you how to put the ihram on first. Huh? Huh? Bismillah. Okay. This is ihram lungi. Okay. This is my bag for Hajj. Okay. If you have a bag like this, right, it'll make your life long easy. Because when you go to Haram Sharif, you can put your slippers in there. Right? And the smaller the bag, better. You can just hang it in your back like this and put your slippers in there. Right? If you have a large bag, then you'll have tough time at the gates. The police will check everything inside. If you just know that there's only slippers in here, then no problem. They won't check you too much. Okay? So this is one bag. If you have something like this, better for you. Now, this is, let's say, if your lungi is open, right? So easy. If your lungi is open, right, then you wear it like this. Okay, you bring it up over here. You take this out there. You see this? Take this section here, and then bring this section out, and then fold this again, right? And then just roll it like this. Okay? You roll it like this, right? This is because when you walk, you get extra space. And when you want to run, you can run as well. Okay, right? Now you can put your mobile in there, your money, everything. And if you want to hide it, you can cover it in there as well so nobody can see. There's your money in there. Yeah, see what's it. Okay. Right? So you got it, your ihram is secure now. Okay? Now, if you want to wear lungi like this, it is possible. Right? Just one stitch. This is one long stitch. Right? You can get some cloth from a cloth shop and put one stitch in there, and you might feel this is a bit more safer. Right? You tie it like this, hold it like this, and put your hand here, and then there, okay? And then you may be allowed to tie a knot here if you want. Okay, even when you're sitting, your satar won't open up. Okay, and then the upper part of ihram, you wear like this. Okay, you take topi and clothes and everything off, and you keep your shoulders covered all the time. Okay, in the photo you saw that these shoulders were open, right? You don't keep your shoulders open all the time. That's not right. You only open it when you start Tawaf. And as soon as you finish Tawaf, you cover your shoulders again. Okay? So you keep your shoulders covered all the time. Okay? Make sure that your satar starts from where? Navel, right? So if someone has a big belly and his lungi goes down, then the satar will be exposed in the mask, right? So what you need to do is make sure your lungi is up and this satar is covered. So when you're praying namaz, just lift your hands, you can fold them on top, go in ruku, right? Sit down, everything easy, inshallah, flexible. You get it? This is how you wear ihram. And you know the reason, the hikmah behind the ihram. Allah wants us to get rid of all our flashy clothes, right? Designer everything, designer shoes, just wear simple flip-flops. Okay? Flip-flops, I brought my car, forgot them, but you can wear simple, cheap ones, but if you have nice flip-flops, it'll be easier for you because you have to do a lot of walking. Right? This company FitFlop, they sell them, like slippers. They cost about £50, but they're really comfortable. They have thick heels and very nice, but you have to look after them. If you leave it somewhere, it'll be stolen. Right? Alhamdulillah, I've had my daughter Rehana, she bought for me. And Alhamdulillah, I've been using them for last 4 or 5 years. Alhamdulillah, I try to put them in the bag, keep it with me all the time. So Alhamdulillah, it's been safe and secure. So this is your lungi, okay? Now, sorry. With regards to ihram, right? you need to get into Ihram before you get to the airport. If you're traveling direct to Makkah Mukarramah. But if you're in transit, right, then you can put your Ihram on from, let's say, Frankfurt or Dubai or Qatar. Right? But if you're traveling direct from London to, then you put your Ihram on at Heathrow Airport. It's easier for you. If you don't want to put the whole Ihram on, what you can do is put this chadar on and wear your jubba on top, right? And then you keep traveling. When you go on the plane to immigration, everything, and on the plane, when the plane, flies, then in the plane you just take your jubba off, your vests off, and then you put this Ihram chadar on. It's easier. But to put this chadar on inside the plane is a struggle. It's hard because you can't put the lungi on in the plane. So you might as well put the lungi on before you get on the plane, right? So this is a little bit of explanation about Ihram. Okay, this is some same lungi. But what it is, just bought this cloth from Qazi Silk Center and had someone sew it, and that's it. Okay, so you've got your Ihram on. Right? Let's say I just keep my Ihram on for the time being. Now, you're entering Haram Sharif with your Ihram, right? This is the next one, right? And the Haram is the dua, Bismillah, salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah, Allahumma ftah li abwaaba rahmatik. This is the same dua which you read over here. Whichever masjid you go, that's what you read. Right? So, just 1 second. Some piece is missing over here. You got to Jeddah, right? You've gone through the immigration. You've collected your luggage, right? You're going outside. You buy a SIM, right? And you put it in your mobile phone. And you download the app, right? And now you're moving on in the taxi to Makkah Mukarramah. What should you be reading along the way? Right? As much as you can. Why? Because Labbaik is a zikr which you can only do whilst you are in the state of Ihram. Right? Outside Ihram, now over here, you can't read Labbaik as a zikr. You can read La ilaha illallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, astaghfirullah, but you can't read Labbaik Allah. If someone sits here, Labbaik Allah, it's not right. Labbaik is a special zikr for Ihram. So while you're in Ihram, read Labbaik as much as you can. Okay, as much as possible. And men should try and read loudly, women softly. So keep reading Labbaik, Labbaik, Allahumma Labbaik. In between, Durood Sharif as well, Istighfar as well, Tasbih as well, until you arrive in Makkah Mukarramah to your hotel. Right? You go to your hotel, you must have booked your hotel beforehand. Right? You go to your hotel, get your room, settle down, have something to eat. Normally, we take some samosa, bhajia, pakoda, sandwich from home, right? Thanda ko thanda, lekin wahi khana padega, right? Or if you book the meal with the hotel, have something to eat, relax, right? You don't need to rush for Haram Sharif because you're really tired. You set off from home, you've been sleepy on the plane, you're sleepy on the coach. Don't force yourself, right? Do everything with ease. Read the bed as much as you can. If you fall asleep, no problem, fall asleep. If your wife next to you falls asleep, let her sleep, don't wake her up. Hey, play for me. Don't do that, Bichari. She's tired, you're tired as well. Let them sleep, get some rest. So, when you get to hotel, relax. 1 hour, 2 hours, sleep, Haram. When you relax, fix the time. And if you've had, booked with the Etamarna, then try and abide by that time. Get to the Masjid Haram quickly, before time. And now when you're going to Masjid Haram, keep reading Labbaik, Labbaik, Labbaik. Because your Labbaik stops as soon as you start Tawaf. Then after you start your Tawaf from Hajar Aswad, you can't read Labbaik. Right? That's the end point of Labbaik. Labbaik starts with Ihram, right? And finishes with Hajar Aswad Istilam. Okay? And one thing I forgot about Ihram, you wash your body, ghusl at home, right? And then you put in Ihram. Before Ihram, you can apply lots of attar, right? Put some nice perfume on your body, right? Like this or whatever. You can put perfume on home from a perfume. and rub it on your body. Okay, it will stay with you during your ihram, and you'll feel nice, pleasant. And then after you put ihram on, right? If you need to put some oil in your hair, comb them, do that as well. All right, and then pray 2 rakat nafil namaz if it's not makruh time. Okay, and then after namaz, when you're praying namaz, cover your head. After namaz, open your head. Okay, and then make niyat. Oh Allah, I am intending to do umrah. Please make my umrah easy for me and accept from me. Okay, and then we made your dua, long dua. We made your niyat. After niyat, make your dua, okay, and read labbaik. Minimum 3 times. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. 3 times, sorry, niyat, labbaik, and then dua. Alright? Make long dua for yourself, tawbah, istighfar, forgiveness, and now your ihram started. Right? All the restrictions of ihram now start. After you've done your niyat, you've done your dua, and you said your labbaik, now you have entered into the state of ihram. Right? And then when you boarded the plane, you have to be extra careful. Alright? On the plane, don't watch any movies. The sin. You're in ihram, double sin. Right? Control your eyes. Air hostess coming and going, don't look at them. Don't stare. Do not sin of the eye. Don't listen to songs. Right? If you have Quran Sharif, read Quran Sharif on your mobile. Okay? If you don't, then have tasbih in your hand and do some zikr, fikr, tasbihat, astaghfar. Right? Have this type of tasbih in your hand and keep reading Durood Sharif, Tawbah, Astaghfar, whatever you can, kalma tayyibat, tasbihat. Right? Draw yourself closer to Allah and make sure you keep busy. Now, you got to Makkah, you got rested, you now going to Haram Sharif. You enter Haram Sharif, Bismillah, Assalamu ala Rasulillah, Allahumma ftah li abwaab rahmatik, A'udhu billahi al-azim wa biwajhihi al-kareem wa sultani al-qadeem min ash-shaytan al-rajim. You read the dua. Right? Now, try and keep looking down while you enter Haram Sharif, okay? And get into the Maqam and then look at Kaaba Sharif. When you look at Kaaba Sharif, your dua is accepted. Just stand on one side, don't stand on the way when people are entering, on your right or left. Go on one side, look at Kaaba Sharif and make short dua, okay? Make dua that, oh Allah, I thank you for calling me over. Oh Allah, please forgive me my sins. Shower your rahmah blessings upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and forgive my sins. Make my umrah easy for me. Forgive me. Allah, accept all my du'as which I am going to make throughout my journey when I stay over here, and accept du'as of all those who told me the more du'as for them. Fulfill all our needs. Make this du'a, and then you start your tawaf. Okay. Now. Key features, and I'll be following next slide. Kaaba Sharif, how to perform Umrah. Okay, you can see Hajari Aswad, right? Bismillah Allahu Akbar. Walillahi alhamd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the way 7 rounds starts. There's Maqam Ibrahim. And you know that round semicircle? That's called Hakim. And when you come, that Yamani corner, and then Hajari Aswad again. You go around, okay? Over here, Mount Safa, there. You start from Safa and you finish at Mount Makkah, over there. Zamzam water taps are over there. Number 4, at the end, you're going to cut and trim your hair, okay? Or shave there. This is what you're going to do. Now, Tawaf. To circumambulate, do Tawaf 7 rounds is compulsory part of Umrah and Hajj. It is wajib to have wudu when performing Tawaf. Remember that, okay? So do your istinja, wudu, everything from home, right? If your wudu breaks, then you have to go somewhere and do wudu. There are some areas to do wudu outside Makkah in the basement, right? So when you enter from Babi Abdul Aziz, and let's say your wudu broke, right? Then ask someone, hey, wudu karna kidhar hai? They'll tell you, go down the escalator, and behind the escalator there are some taps, you can do wudu there. So do your wudu there, and then go to Kaaba Sharif. Remember, wudu is wajib when doing tawaf, not when sa'i. Sa'i wudu is not wajib, but for tawaf, wudu is wajib. To begin tawaf, one should proceed to the corner of the Kaaba where the black stone is. This corner of the Kaaba faces the green light and has only 1 minaret. Okay, this is Hajar Aswad. You see that Hajar Aswad, black stone, That's where you start the tawaf. So you get before it. And before you get to there, you have to open your right shoulder. Okay? There is no longer a line on the floor showing the position of Hajar al-Aswad. Therefore, you will have to estimate where the location is. Make sure you stop before this. The recitation of Labbaik ends with the commencement of Tawaf. Miscellaneous Tawaf. One must walk around Hatim, not cut through it. Hatim, you know that semicircle? Don't take shortcut through it. You can't anyway, but just masla. During Tawaf, one can recite Quran, Zikr, and make dua. Right? Just be focused where you are. Where are you? In the house of Allah. What are you doing? Going round the house of Allah. Right? Don't talk to anyone. Right? Just keep focused. Look down and keep going round and round. Okay? To start Tawaf, when you come to Hajar al-Aswad, ideally, if you go to Hajar al-Aswad, like the Prophet ﷺ did, he put his both hands around Hajar al-Aswad and he kissed Hajar al-Aswad, right? After saying, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, Walillahi alhamd, he kissed Hajar al-Aswad and then he started his Tawaf. If you can't kiss it, then if you have something to touch it with, like on one journey, he was riding on the camel and he had a long stick in his hand, so he touched Hajar al-Aswad with that stick and then he kissed that stick. So you can do that if you can touch it with something, or maybe in the crowd, touch Hajar al-Aswad with your hand and then kiss your hand, that is allowed. And number 3, if you can't do that, then from a distance, you just point towards Hajar al-Aswad, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, Walillahi alhamd, you kiss your hands and then you start doing the Tawaf around. Okay? So once you start, now, 2 things. Number 1, before Tawaf, you have exposed your shoulder, right? Okay? And you expose your shoulder for all 7 rounds, right? Number 2, in the first 3 rounds, there is Ramal. Ramal is Sunnat. Ramal is, walking like a soldier who's parading and walking briskly, right? There is wisdom, hikmah behind it, but I don't have the time to go into there. If you can do Ramal in 3 rounds, it's Sunnat. From Hajar al-Aswad to Hajar al-Aswad, or at least up to Rukn Yamani, and then you can walk between Rukn Yamani and Hajar al-Aswad. 3 rounds, and then for the 4 rounds, you walk normally. But if there is a rush and you can't do Ramal, no problem, just walk the way you can. You started from here, keep reading Subhanallah, Walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, Subhanallah, Walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu, yuhyi wa yumiitu wa ala kulli shay'in qadir, astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. Okay, you read some du'as which are mentioned in some books. Now I don't know whether we find those books or not, but if you can read, you memorize those du'as. If not, any du'as you can remember from Quran Hadith, like Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar, Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin, Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yun, Rabbi ij'alni muqima as-salati min dhurriyyati, Rabbana taqabbal du'a, Rabbana ighfir li wa liwalidayya wal mu'minina yawma yaqumul hisab. Whatever du'as you know, Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin, Rabbi ighfir warham, Rabbi ighfir warham, keep reading those du'as. Okay, then you come around to Rukn Yamani. You know the Rukn Yamani corner? You had it on there, the one before Hajar al-Aswad. Where is it? This is black stone. Kiswa, the Yamani corner. You see the Yamani corner? Right? That when you come to there after 3 sides, you come to this one side at Rukn Yamani. If you can put your hands on Rukn Yamani, good. Put your hands, wipe them. Okay, you don't need to kiss it. Right? Just put your hands, wipe them. And over there, there is one dua to make. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-'afwa wal-'afiyah fi ad-din wad-dunya wal-akhirah. Okay, and then from there, Rukn Yamani to Hajar al-Aswad, keep reading. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar wa adkhilna al-jannah ma'a al-abrar ya azizu ya ghaffar ya rabbal alamin. And one hadith says, if you make dua at Rukn Yamani, there are 70 angels over there who say Ameen on your dua. Okay, so make dua at Rukn Yamani if you can, and between Rukn Yamani and Hajar al-Aswad, you'll hear people reading Rabbana Atina, so you'll remember as well. Keep reading Rabbana Atina. One should avoid talking, and phone should be away. Don't use your mobile phone to take selfies and videos while doing Tawaf. You're in the house of Allah. Distract yourself, disconnect yourself from everything, attach yourself, connect yourself with Allah. One should also not read so loudly in a manner which disturbs others. It is disliked to eat whilst you're doing Tawaf, right? But If your sugar level went down and you wanted to have some glucose tablet, you're allowed to do that. If you want to have a sip of water, sometimes you're feeling thirsty, you're allowed to do that. It's not like namaz, then you can't eat or drink anything. Eating samosas and kebab is makruh in tawaf, but if you were to eat some sweet or something, that would be okay. One may drink zamzam in between, but keep the break short. There is no talbiyah during tawaf. Tawaf ruling. While performing tawaf, if one wudu breaks or false salah starts, or one needs to take a break, then it is permissible to pause the tawaf and then continue from the very place stopped. Okay, this needs a bit of elaboration. Wudu breaks, wudu breaks, wudu breaks, then you have to start your tawaf again, right? Like you did 3 rounds and your wudu broke on the 4th round, right? You have to go do wudu and start the 4th round from Hajari Aswad, not from where you broke your wudu, right? With Farz namaz, if Farz namaz starts, you're doing tawaf and Farz namaz starts, then you can stop where you are and pray your Farz namaz and continue from there. You don't need to go back to Hajari Aswad and start from there. You understand the difference? Okay. And if you did 3 rounds, 4 rounds, and you needed to take a break, you can take a break, pause for a moment, take some rest, drink some zamzam, and then go back to Hajari Aswad and start your 5th round from there. Okay? So you are allowed to pause between rounds, though it'll be easier for you to do all 7 rounds continuously. Okay? One mas'ala some people ask over here is that sometimes a person wants to do multiple tawafs, right? But remember, after every 7 rounds, one tawaf is 7 rounds. So after every 7 rounds, you have to pray 2 rakats tahiyatul tawaf. So some people ask mas'ala that if we go to do tahiyatul tawaf and then come back, it's a huge struggle. So can I do 2 or 3 tawaf, 14 rounds, 21 rounds, and then pray the 2 rakats at the end? So it's allowed. It's only afzal to pray 2 rakats after every 7 rounds, right? But if you want to do, then what you need to do is, after you finish your 7 rounds, okay, you do your istilam, right? How many istilams do you do in one tawaf? 8. 1 in the beginning, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when you finish 7, you do another istilam. Bismillah. That is for ending the tawaf. Okay? And there's another 9th istilam. If you're going for sa'i, right? Then after you pray your 2 rakat tahiyatul tawaf, and you're going to Safa Marwa, you again turn your face towards Kaaba, and you say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, kiss your hands, and then you go for sa'i. You get it? So if you're going for sa'i, you will have to do 9 istilams, right? And if you're not going for sa'i, if you do another tawaf, then you do your 8th istilam, and then do another one for the next tawaf. Make niyat and start the next tawaf, and then keep doing another 7 rounds. And then when 14 rounds are done, then you can go behind and pray your 2 rakats for the first tawaf, and another 2 rakats for the second tawaf, and that's done. Okay. If one is forced to break their wudu, tawaf, leaving Haram, breaking wudu, and has completed 4 more rounds, they must finish this tawaf once they are able to do so. Masail happen. Tawaf rulings: one will not gesture to any other corner of Kaaba or kiss it beside the corner of the black stone. Kissing is only one place, where? Hajar Aswad. Don't stop in the middle of tawaf to kiss any other area of the. Well, at the moment, people kissing Hajar Aswad is not allowed. You can't touch it. So no, please. It is mustahab to touch Rukn Yamani. Explain that with both hands if possible, and make dua Allahumma yasruk. I've just mentioned that. Imam Shafi used to see that a person recite during tawaf from Imam Hajar Aswad to recite Rabbana Atina, our Lord give us. After 7 rounds, do the final istilam. The tawaf is completed upon making istilam of Hajar Aswad, black stone, at the end of the 7 rounds. This will be the 8th istilam in total, 1 to start and 1 after every round. Tawaf completion. It is wajib to perform 2 rakats after tawaf, preferably behind Maqam Ibrahim. There it is congested, you can pray anywhere in the Haram. The 2 rakats should not be. Okay, these 2 rakats are called tahiyatul tawaf, right? It is mustahab to play Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun, Qul Huwallah in the first rakat and the second rakat. Okay, Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun first rakat, Qul Huwallah in the second rakat. The Huzur Sallallahu read these 2 surahs in 2 rakats. So after you finish your tawaf, you pray 2 rakat tahiyatul tawaf. Okay. And after tahiyatul tawaf, before you pray into tahiyatul tawaf, you cover your shoulder. Because you finish your tawaf, you don't need to keep your shoulder open now. So you cover your shoulder and then you pray your 2 rakats tahiyatul tawaf. Alright? Because shoulder is only exposed during tawaf, not before, not after. Okay? So you pray your 2 rakats tahiyatul tawaf, you make dua after that, and then you will proceed towards Safa Marwa. So Maqam Ibrahim is you can pray anywhere in the Haram, right? If you can't pray direct behind Maqam Ibrahim, you can pray in its area. If you can't pray there, you can pray anywhere. Sometimes you do tawaf after Fajr or after Asr. It's makruh time. You can't pray till you do tawaf, right? So you can pray later on, right? Even let's say if you come to your room and you pray in your room, that's also allowed. If you forgot and you came to Bolton and you prayed 2 rakat tahiyyatul tawaf in Bolton as well, that's also allowed, right? But the main thing is you pray the 2 rakat tahiyyatul tawaf. Maqam Ibrahim is afzal, if not anywhere in Haram, if not anywhere in Makkah, if not wherever you can, but you have, it is wajib on you, you have to pray wherever you can. 2 rakats should not be performed in makruh times. These are entire Fajr time except 2 Sunnah, 2 Farad, and after Farad of Asr until sunset. They must also not be prayed in the Haram times of Salah. These are as the Haram times, as the sun is rising, when the sun is at its peak Zawal, and at the time of sunset. After performing 2 rakats for Tawaf, do Dua. Tawaf completion. After Dua, if possible, go to the Multazam. That's not possible now, so leave it. Multazam is the area between Hajar Aswad and the door of Kaaba. Nabi Prophet went there and he clinged onto that area and he made lots of du'as. If you can do that, you should do that. It's mustahab. If you can't, then go for sa'i. If it is too busy, then stand near Multazam and do dua. After the Multazam, go to Zamzam and drink as much Zamzam as you can. Access to the well has now been blocked, but you will see taps and water containers in many places. Tawaf completion. Drink water facing Qibla and recite the following. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan wasi'a wa shifaa min kulli da'. If any other dua, you can make other duas as well. Duas are accepted when you drink Zamzam. Don't just be content with one glass. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 glass, you can drink as much as you want. Okay? But make sure you don't feel the need to go istinja, because you still got to do sa'i. Sa'i will take you 45 minutes. Alright? So maybe you can drink a few cups, and then during sa'i you can drink more, and you can drink more after sa'i, because there's Zamzam available everywhere. After drinking Zamzam, go back to Hajar Aswad and do istilam. If you can't go there from distance, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, and then go to sa'i. Do the ninth istilam in the same manner you did for tawaf. It is mustahab to perform istilam before sa'i. Sa'i, it is wajib element in Umrah. It is performed after the tawaf of Umrah. Sa'i is performed by walking between the two hills, Safa Marwa, 7 times, starting at Safa, ending at Marwa. Okay, you know Safa Marwa, you saw in that photo. You go to Safa, climb as much as you can, and face Kaaba Sharif, make dua, because on Safa, dua is accepted, right? And then after you finish your dua, Birahmatika ya Arhamar Rahimin, you don't need to do istilam or anything. Birahmatika ya Arhamar Rahimin, you start walking down towards Marwa. Okay, between the two green lights, you'll run a little bit, and we will read Rabbi Ighfir warham wa'fu wa takarram wa tajawaz amma ta'lam innaka ta'lam ma la na'lam innaka anta Allahu al-a'azzu al-akram. This is better mustahab dua. If you can't remember it, just Rabbi Ighfir warham wa anta khairul rahimin. Allahumma ighfir li warhamni. Allahumma ighfir li warhamni. Allahumma ighfir li warhamni. Any duas will be sufficient. So once okay, one will come to Safa, face Qibla, make dua, now head towards Marwa. When the green light approaches, men should jog until the next green light. There is no running for women. Women will walk normal. So the man should run to the next green light and wait for his wife. He can take a breather as well. When his wife arrives, then they can both walk together to Marwa. When you reach Marwa, during Tawaf there might be congestion, so make sure you stick together. Don't get lost. If you get lost, then you'll have to fix a place. That if we get lost, we'll meet over here. If not, just give them address of your hotel card, right? And this should be with everyone, each individual, male, female, young, old. Just give them one card, address of the hotel. So if you get lost, and you can get to your hotel at this address, you can ask some policeman or someone, can you please direct me to this hotel, and they'll see if they can help you. All right? So keep that in mind. When the green light approaches, when you reach Marwa, you have completed one la. At Marwa, face the Qibla, make dua. After making dua, head again towards Safa, and this is how you will be going. Okay, booking for Umrah. Put the next one.
It's not this. You have to show the paper.
Okay, this is, but you want any coloring nahi hai. जब उसमें आया नहीं, he couldn't manage to get the slide on there. It's on my phone. Can you put it on your phone? Maulana Hassan Kara sent it to me. Okay, can you see something on here? When you go on the Tamanna app, this is what you will see. There's 4 options. You want to book Umrah, you want to do Tawaf on the first floor, you want to pray in Rawda, or men, and praying in Rawda, women. That's the 4 options you get. Then you go on the next page, right? And there's the month of March, and the dates are in there. Can you see 1 red, and 3 green, and 1 amber, right? It'll tell you which dates is too busy. So over here it says 27 is very busy, 28, 29 is free, 31 is medium. And then when you go, the next option will be select the time slots in the 24 hours form. Can you see there's some amber, some red, some green, right? So it'll tell you. So you choose your own time. Again, but this is it. That's the first option. You see the 1520, Umrah, Tawaf first floor, praying in the Noble Rawda for men, praying in Noble Rawda for women. That's first. You have to select from there. And then you'll go Tawaf on the first floor, right? And there's the dates, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. It'll tell you which one is more busy, okay? Select the time in the 24 hours. This is the timing schedule over there. Okay, that's for Tawaf on the first floor, and that's for Umrah, okay? And there's the timings. 12 midnight till 2 a.m., 2 a.m. to 4, 4 a.m. to 6. And then 6 till 8, 8 till 10, 10 till 12, 12 till 2, 2 till 4, 4 till 6, 6 till 8, 8 till 12, 12 till midnight. Okay, that's the timing. You can see the first 3 are medium, and then 6 o'clock is Fajr time, that's peak. And then after 8 o'clock till, let's say, 4 o'clock in the evening, it's relatively empty. Then 4 o'clock is after Asr until 10 o'clock, that's after Isha, that's peak time. And then after Isha, 10 o'clock till midnight is medium. Do you get it? So you book your times according to that. And then over here you see praying at the Noble Rawda for men. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And you see. And then the peak times are 12:30 till 1 at night is peak time. Then 1 till 1:30 is medium. 1:30 till 2 o'clock is peak time. 2 till 2:30, okay. 2:30 till 3. 3:30 till 3:30. 3:30 till 4. And you see all the times, right? But you know, when you go in the green times, the guards are a little bit flexible. They allow you. You know, sometimes even if you don't have booking and they say, please, yeah, you know, I tried, I couldn't get it. Let you in, right? Some, you know, when there was some said sometimes you can't get booking, then there's a way of getting around it as well, right? You take your friend's booking, right, and send it to a photo, and then let him just put it in the photo. So they're not going to check whether it be your name and everything. So in your photo gallery, if you film that photo, they go. So some people do that as well. But what can you do? You have to work your way around it. You know, one of my friends came from Barbados. One of Usama has a friend, one of Siraj. Now, the Tamanna app would not let him book because he couldn't recognize Barbados. So he couldn't book it in there. So he had to do this. He had to use Mufti Usama's ID. And Mufti Usama went in first, and then he went in, and then they both did Umrah together. So if, let's say, if an old man went there, many people sometimes they come back without Umrah. They can't do it. So I couldn't get booking. Which are, they say, well, I have to give them. So don't do that. You've gone there for Umrah. Just do it somehow. And don't come back without doing Umrah. Just get inside whatever way you can. Just force yourself in. So this is why I said, if you have someone, young man who is tech savvy, you can do all this for you, and it'll be easier for you. Okay, wait. Isme Madina Sharif ka nahi hai. I think it was on the other slide. We've covered Ziyara of Madina Sharif. Okay? Just 1 or 2 points. You stayed in Makkah Mukarramah, right? For as many days as you want, right? And then now you're going to Madina Sharif. You do your final namaz. There's no Tawaf-e-Wida in Umrah. Tawaf-e-Wida is only in Hajj, not in Umrah, right? There's no Sa'i or Tawaf-e-Wida or anything. You just pray your namaz, you make dua, Allah, I thank you for calling me over, and I'm going now. Please accept my journey or my du'as. And then with a heavy heart, you leave Haram Sharif, come to hotel, pack everything, get your taxi, and you're traveling to Medina Sharif. Point number one, what niyyat do you make? What niyyat do you make? Visiting the Rawdah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Because he is alive in his qabr. I'm going there to do salam to my Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Okay? Some people say you have to do visit or niyyat of visiting masjid and praying namaz in there. Okay, they want to do that, let them do that. You can make both niyyats. I'm visiting my Nabi as well. I'm going to pray namaz in his masjid as well. And then along the way, because you're going Medina Sharif, keep reading Durood Sharif. And if you have on your mobile some nice Naat Sharif of Junaid Jamshed, Muhammad ka Roza Qareeb aa raha hai, बुलंदी पे अपना नसीब आ रहा है, फरिश्तों ये जाके दे दो खबर कि खातिम तुम्हारा सईद आ रहा है. You can read some nice nazam, build your emotions, and love, muhabbat is better. Listen to some nice naats, right? Because naats increase in your heart the love of your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some nice poetry in English, in Arabic, in Urdu, some nice poetry. It will generate that love and for muhabbat of Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And keep reading Durood Sharif as much as you can. Your tongue should be absorbed in Durood Sharif as much as possible. Whole rasta, besides Faraz Ibadat, keep reading Durood Sharif, Durood Sharif, Durood Sharif. Okay? Mufti Ahmad Khanpuri Sahib said, when in Makkah, try and do 70 tawaf during your stay. Right? How many? 70. And Mufti Shabir Sahib's trick is good. Put Ihram on, go inside, stay there for hours, just keep doing tawaf. Right? And in Medina Sharif, try and read Durood Sharif 70,000 times. Salat al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sallam. Sallallahu alaihi 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 wa sallam. Just close your eyes, look down, go into Muraqabah, keep reading Durood Sharif. Try and read in your 10 days, 15 days, whatever you stay there, 70,000 Durood Sharif. Okay? Also, because you're staying there in Ramzan, read lots of Quran Sharif in Makkah as well, some Quran Sharif in Medina as well. This is your staying there. One more masala. Someone might ask. Taraweeh, last year and the year before, in Haram Sharif, they only prayed 10 rakats Taraweeh. And then 1 rakat witr. Right? So if they do that, then pray your 10 rakats separately. Pray full 20 rakats. Don't do what they do. Don't skyrow after 10. I don't know what they're going to do this year. They might read 20. Allah knows, Allah gives them hidayah to do the proper sunnah. 20 rakats is sunnah muakkada. If they do 20, okay, alhamdulillah, mashallah. If they don't, and they only read 10, then when you get to your home or you stay in Haram Sharif and pray 10 more, and then go home. Number 2, second masala, witr. Right? They pray 8 rakats, and then 2 rakats, and then 1 rakat. That's their witr. They do salam after 2 rakats, and then 1 rakat. This is Shafi'i madhab. Imam Shafi'i's research, Imam Ahmad's research. But Imam Abu Hanifa's research is that the 3 rakats should be prayed together, like we normally pray. Now, if you wanted to pray with them, you can follow them, but then repeat your witr again afterwards. Right? Because that witr will be nafil, it won't be counted. Your witr will be what you pray. Witr is wajib. And the witr wajib, you will have to pray it again. Okay? Keep that masala in mind. Now, in Medina Sharif, when you get to Medina Sharif, right, go to your hotel, put your luggage, take it easy, have a shower, wear nice new clothes, because you're visiting your Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So don't go in scruffy clothes, dirty clothes, have a shower, put some attar on, perfume, nice clothes. If you're going to wear imama, wear nice imama, look good attire, and then go to Medina Sharif, Masjid Nabawi Sharif. If you booked your on I'tamarna, if your estimated timing of what time you'll get to Medina, let's say you're going to get to Medina Sharif at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? In Makkah to Medina journey is in taxi about 5 hours, right? More or less. Sometimes more, sometimes less, Allah knows best. So maybe 4, 5, 6 hours, keep a little bit of distance. So let's say you get there 2 o'clock, You keep some space and go for salam in the evening, maybe 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, or maybe even after Isha, right? But when you get there, don't miss any namaz in Makkah or in Medina. Try to pray all farz in Masjid Haram and in Masjid Nabawi Sharif. So go for Masjid Nabawi Sharif namaz if you can, and if you get time for salam, go to salam. Okay. And for salam, Masjid Nabawi Sharif, right? Check where your hotel is, right? If your hotel is on the Babu Salam side, this is Qibla, right? And that's Babu Salam, this is Babu Baqi. If your hotel is on the Babu Salam side, it'll be easier for you. If your hotel is at the back, right, then don't go from the Babu Baqi side, go from your right on the Babu Salam side. Because there's a very long walk, right? Maybe half an hour, 45 minutes walk. But if you go from Babu Salam side, your walk will be less. So go from the Babu Salam side, because Babu Salam side, they have this zigzag like airport. You have to go through all these restrictions, and then you get to Babu Salam. And once you're in Babu Salam, they let you into Rawda, 5-10 minutes, and then you go for Salam Pesh, and then you're out. If not possible, what our Mashayikh used to do was they used to go in the new Haram, right? And then they would go as close to the Rawda as they can from behind. There's them barriers, and you can see Jari Mubarak. So they would just sit there and look at Jari Mubarak from there and keep reading Durood Sharif from there. You can read your salam from there as well, right? So get to Rawda as soon as you can. I gave you the timings, right? In the morning between 8:30 and 10:30 is relatively calm, and at night after midnight to 2:30 is relatively calm. So if you can book at that time and you go there, you can sit in Riyadul Jannah, you can pray 2-4 rakats, you can make some du'as, read some Durood Sharif. They normally allow you 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, they say, bye, chalo, get out. And then they kick you out. You have to go outside into the Salam area and go towards Salam, do Salam Pesh, and out of Babul Baqi. This is how you will be doing your Salam. Okay? And while you're in Medina Sharif, go to Jannatul Baqi when you can. It's twice, morning after Fajr, evening after Asr. They open the gates, they allow you inside, go around Baqi Sharif, read Yasin Sharif, Qul Huwallah Sharif, do Isar Sawab, do Salam to the family of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and all the Sahaba, Tabi'ina and Aimma in there. And also while you're in Makkah, if you can go to Jannatul Ma'la, there's Hazrat Khadija's Mazar there, some other Sahaba there, do Salam to them, pray for them, give them sadaqah on their behalf. In Makkah, Medina, if you can go for some ziyarats, your Hajj operator books for you, go for ziyarats, but make sure you don't miss any namaz in Haram Sharif. Because one namaz in Makkah is equal to 100,000, and one namaz in Medina is equal to 50,000. So why, when you go for ziyarat, you miss your Zohar namaz or Asr namaz? Go after Fajr, come back by 11 o'clock, take a little bit of rest, and then come to Haram Sharif for Zohar namaz. Don't miss namaz, right? In Haram Sharif, otherwise you'll be missing out on Allah. This is it. Any questions? Anything I might have missed out on? That's it.
In Ihram, can we do the first round of Tawaf, then we can do second round of Tawaf, or we have to go for 2 rakats, say, then we have to out of the...
Good question. In Ihram, it will not be right to do another Tawaf before doing Sa'i. Okay? So, you do your Tawaf and then do your Sa'i. That is the correct. You can't do another extra Nafil Tawaf between your first Tawaf and Wajib Sa'i. Right? But what you can do is come back later after you've shaved your head or trimmed your hair. Don't take your Ihram off, don't wear your clothes. Just keep your Ihram on and come with Ihram and go to Mataf, and then you can do as many Tawaf as you can. Okay? Any more questions?
Once you finish Sa'i, you go for the haircut.
Yep.
If you're still in Haram, after you do the haircut, is you have the Ihram, or you still in the Ihram till you come out of the Haram?
No. As soon as you cut your hair, you're out of Ihram. Okay? Cutting hair or shaving the hair or trimming the hair is wajib. When you've done that wajib, your Ihram is finished. Even though you're wearing your chadar, that's not counted as Ihram. You're out now. You're halal. Right? You can cut your nails or apply perfume or soap, shampoo. Everything is okay for you. You don't need to take the Ihram chadar off to come back, to become halal again. Okay.
For the deceased, what is the best way for either Umrah or is Tawaf to do?
I think at this time Tawaf is better. Because let's say if Umrah takes you 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. But in those 2 hours you can do 10 Tawaf, 15 Tawafs.
This we have to make the intention.
Just make intention. I'm doing Tawaf for my father, my mother, my grandfather, my grandmother, my ustad, my sheikh. You can do Tawaf for them. Okay? Sawab, Isare Sawab is okay. You can do as many Tawafs as you can for Isare Sawab. Alright?
The 2 rakats to go into Ihram, can they be performed on the plane?
Yeah, you can perform them on the plane. You can perform them on the seat as well because they're nafal.
Yes. So if you do it at the airport, you have to go to Ihram on the
Yeah. I mean, if you're putting on your ihram at the airport, then you pray the 2 rakats are nafil. So you pray the 2 rakats and then you start your ihram. But if you're doing on the plane, then you can just keep your lower chadar on, right? And then on the plane, take your jubba and your vest, everything off, and put this chadar on, and make sure you're in wudu, and then pray your 2 rakats on the seat, right? And then make your niyyat and labbaik and dua, and your ihram is started. Okay. Normally we do this at about 1 or 2 hours before the plane is about to land. We enter the ihram, so we don't make any silly mistakes inside the ihram. Okay. But if you do it from Heathrow Airport, that's good as well. Many people start from Heathrow Airport, no problem. They put the chadar on, everything, mashallah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, then labbaik starts from Heathrow. Because your labbaik will start after you go into ihram. Okay. Ladies, masail kuch rehte hain, unko bata do anything about ladies. I covered, covering face and things. Ladies can wear everything. They don't need to wear flip-flops. And they can wear any footwear. They can wear socks as well. Okay? And they can wear normal clothing as well. No problem. No restriction for ladies. Okay? Only those khushbu and fragrance and perfume and clipping nails and cutting hair, that is a restriction. Otherwise, other things are okay for them. Alright? Anything else, Mawlana? Am I forgotten?
So what's that? Talbiyah?
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. Make sure you learn it before you go, right? Otherwise, Maulana Bilal Sahib in Bari, this old man was going. Maulana Sahib told him, "Say labbaik." I said, "Ballik, ballik नहीं ना labbaik, ballik नहीं labbaik." तो बेचारा ballik ही करता था. तो ballik ना बोलना, labbaik बोलना. So make sure you learn it before you go. It's not ballik, it's labbaik. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. Okay, anything else?
For those going on the trip from Medina to Makkah,
Okay.
we can always do a 2 rakat in the hotel.
Yeah,
And then just
that's
do
good.
the niyyah.
Yep. That's good. Very good. Exactly. Right. You do your 2 rakats in the hotel. You put your ihram on, chadar on, everything. That's what normally people do. They have shower, ghusl, body wash, everything, wuzu. Put their ihram on, pray 2 rakat namaz, make niyyat, make dua, start ihram, go in the taxi, go in the station, and train. Your niyyat is done. It's allowed. No problem.
What if a woman is on a haze and after her cycle is finished, so now she's come back to go into Tawaf, and then she's completed everything, came out of Ihram, and the next day she gets a little show.
Because if she had completed her normal days, like her habit was 60s, and based on that, she got back, she did her ghusl, she did everything, and she came out of Ihram. But then she sees it again. What's she supposed to do? Wait another 3 days until 10 days finish. If the bleeding continues after 10 days as well, then she will be returned to the normal adat of 6 days. Her umrah will be okay, right? But if the bleeding stops before that, let's say over 9 days, then that will be her cycle. So what she'll have to do is she'll have to go and do the umrah again. She won't have to do any dam or anything. It's only that she did her tawaf and sa'i while she was still not back. So that's been overlooked. She'll just repeats the umrah and that's it. Doesn't need to come any dam or anything.
Just the Tawaf, not the Sa'i.
No, tawaf, sa'i both. Okay, good question. I think, but Sa'i can't be done without Tawaf, you see. Right? So the Tawaf was not counted, the Sa'i will not be counted as well. So you have to do Tawaf and Sa'i. But I'll check that with Sufi Sahab again. Alright? Okay.
Can you wear the side bug? Right.
Yeah, you can. You can wear this over here or you can wear it like this as well. Okay. Side bug.
Can you put sunscreen on as well?
Sunscreen, if you've got no perfume on.
Okay.
Okay? There's no fragrance in there. It's sada, simple. You can use it. But if there's no fragrance in there, then that's a problem. Okay? What should the ladies do because they have to wear a mask during the state of Ihram? No, they don't know. The mask is gone now. The rule of mask is gone. You don't need to wear a mask now. They allow it. They don't need to. Even if you have to, there's masala on the mask, which Mufti Shabir Saab's son, when he used to feel put out there. That's the masala. If you cover your face for more than 12 hours, you have to give one dam. But if you cover it less than 12 hours, half a day, then you only have to give sadaqah. So, only cover it when you go for maybe in Haram Sharif when it's necessary, or when you are in your hotel or traveling, or just take it off. Right? So when they say it's necessary, you can put it on. But now they remove that rule. You need to wear mask in open areas. And Haram Sharif is open. Nobody. I was looking on YouTube, the Haram Sharif, you'll see nobody's wearing mask. In fact, for ladies, it's easy to go in Haram Sharif because they don't have to wear ihram. So the person doesn't know whether she's in ihram or not in ihram. The ladies just keep running in the mataf, and the mataf is packed with ladies. There's more ladies than gents in mataf. So ladies के लिए तो और आसान है. उसको बोलो कि मैं ihram में जाओ. You can just keep going there and stay in the mataf. If you're in normal clothes, you want to do tawaf, you have to do on the first floor. And the first floor around is really big, 2 legs. So you can't do it in your normal clothes, but if you keep your ihram sheet on down, Umrah karo aaram se. Allah Ta'ala astaghfirullah. May Allah make it easy for the Saudis as well, and for the Hujjaj and Mu'tamirin as well. May Allah give us tawfiq to visit as well.
The ninth is Salah. Is that wajib or sunnah?
No, mustahab. If you forget it, no problem. Okay? Even all the other Islam are, I think, masnoon at most. Not wajib. If you forget it, you just keep going around, still your tawaf will be done. Right? But now, before there was a black line on the bottom, they will remove that. Right? So all you have to do is, you have to keep walking and you have to keep in mind when that Hajar Aswad comes. And you know how to remember it? Rabbana Atina. When everybody is screaming Rabbana Atina fi dunya hasana, you remember that, oh, rukne mani aage. And then when people will be saying Bismillah, Allah Akbar, then you say it. Now, at the first Istilam, you turn towards Hajar Aswad and you say Bismillah, Allah Akbar, walillahi alhamd, kiss your hands, and then you start round. Okay? And then in the second, third, fourth, all other rounds, you don't turn around, right? You just keep your feet facing like this. And you just point towards Hajar Aswad, Bismillah, Allah Akbar, kiss your hands, and keep walking. Alright? And during Tawaf, don't turn towards Kaaba Sharif. Don't get emotional and go and stick to Kaaba Sharif because that will affect your Tawaf. That round will not be counted. You'll have to repeat that round. Okay? If it was some majburi, someone pushed you, and then because of that you turn around, that is maaf. But if you deliberately did that, then that will nullify your round. So don't deliberately turn towards Kaaba. Just keep walking round and round. Your feet should be in that direction, Kaaba should be on your left, and you should be going round and round. Okay? This is the way to do Tawaf. Okay? Any more questions? ठीक हो गया सब? ठीक है? सुभानअल्लाह। अशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता अस्तगफिरुका व अतूबु इलैक। अल्लाहुम्मा लकल हम्दु व लकश शुक्र। اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا وعملا صالحا ورزقا واسعا وشفاء من كل داء اللهم إنا نسألك عمرة متقبلة وسعيا مشكورا وذنبا مغفورا وتجارة لن تبور يا عالم ما في الصدور خرجنا من الظلمات إلى النور يا أرحم الراحمين. Accept our humble efforts, accept our sitting over here. Oh Allah, all these brothers and sisters who are going for Umrah, make their Umrah easy for them, accept their Umrah from them. And Allah, give them the maximum barakat and blessing of Haram Sharif, Makkah Mukarramah and Medina Munawwarah. Protect Haramain Sharifain. Allah, protect Haramain Sharifain. Make Umrah and Hajj easy for everyone, easy for the authorities to control everyone, and easy for the Hujjaj and Mu'tamideen as well. Allah, accept all the efforts which are being done to keep your house full with Hujjaj and pilgrims, and Allah, make everything easy for all of us. Allah, accept our human efforts, be pleased with us, give us Umrah Maqboola, Sa'yan Mashkura, Zamban Maghfura, and Tijaratan Tabur. Allah, you know what's in our hearts, give us ikhlas and sincerity. Allah, give us the thawab of Haziri of Haramain Sharifain, thawab of praying Salat in Masjid Haram, in Masjid Nabawi Sharif. Give us the ability to spend maximum time in Haram Sharif, to do lots of Tawaf, to read lots of Quran, to pray lots of Nawafil, to make lots of du'as, to do istighfar, to read lots of Durud Sharif. Oh Allah, cleanse us, purify us, and wash away all our sins from us, and give us the true barakat and blessings of Haramain Sharif. Hey, accept our humble dua, please with us. Give us all those good things which your beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked from you, and protect us from all those evils, problems, fitnas from which he saw your protection. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم وصلى اللهم وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه